Hey there, it is Jeremiah. Welcome to the Slam video for this week. We're so glad that you've maybe joined us live, or else if you're watching it back, we're so glad you joined us for this. And today, the story we're going to be going over is in John chapter 9. Um, and I do have some special guests who are going to read that for us. So if you will, just follow along with them in John chapter 9. They're going to share the story with you.
It's Isaac and Isabel.
One day, as Jesus and his disciples were out walking, they saw a man who was born blind. The disciples asked Jesus, "Rabbi, why was this man born blind? Was it because of his own sins or his parents' sins?" Jesus responded, "It was not because of his sins or his parents' sins. This happened so the power of God could be seen in him."
Jesus spit on the ground, made a mud with the saliva, and spread the mud over the blind man's eyes. Jesus told the man, "Go wash yourself in the pool of Siloam." The blind man did as Jesus told him, and when he returned, he could see.
"Yes, it did as he told me, and now I can see." The man's neighbors asked where Jesus was, but he did not know.
Then they took the man who had been blind to the Pharisees, religious leaders. When the man told the Pharisees what had happened, some of them said, "This man Jesus is not from God, for he is working on the Sabbath." Others said, "But how could an ordinary sinner do such miraculous signs?" The man who had been blind told them he thought Jesus must be a prophet.
The Jewish leaders refused to believe that the man had been blind and could now see, so they called in his parents. The man's parents were afraid of the Jewish leaders because they had threatened to kick out anyone from the synagogue who said Jesus was the Messiah. So, when the Pharisees questioned them, they confirmed that he was their son and that he was born blind, but they did not know how he could see or who had healed him. They told the Pharisees to ask him for themselves. "He is old enough to speak for himself," they said.
For a second time, the man appeared before the Pharisees to answer their questions and his blindness and how he had been healed. The man answered, "I was born blind. He healed my eyes. No one has ever been able to do that before. If this man were not from God, he couldn't have done it." The angered Pharisees replied, "Who are you to teach us, sinner?" And they threw him out of the synagogue.
When Jesus heard what had happened, he found the man and explained to him, "I entered this world to judge, to give sight to the blind, and to show those who think they see that they are blind." Some Pharisees who were standing nearby heard him and asked, "Are you saying we're blind?" Jesus replied, "If you are blind, you wouldn't be guilty, but you remain guilty because you claim you can see."
All right, so thanks to Isaac and Isabel for reading our story today. We're so glad that they did that for us. And the first thing I'm going to tell you, you're going to hear car noise because I'm out on my front porch doing this live stream. And I just want to share three things about our story today, and they're all very simple. The first is that Jesus is compassionate. You know, Jesus saw this man who had been born blind and was moved to help him. Jesus hears our prayers and he will help us through life's challenges. So that's the first thing we can learn about what Jesus did for this blind man and what he does in our own lives. He's compassionate and he sees when we're struggling and he's there for us and he guides us and directs us. The next is that Jesus is our healer. Not only did he heal this man so that he could see, he healed him spiritually by explaining that he is who he says he is, and he came to do what he said he was going to do. And through him, his sacrifice on the cross, Jesus healed us physically and spiritually. And finally, all Jesus asks is that we believe. And Jesus asked this man if he believed in him, the Son of Man. The formerly blind man responded that he didn't know who the Son of Man was, but that he wanted to know so he could believe. And Jesus made this man able to see physically and spiritually. He was able to see in person, actually able to see with his eyes, but he was also able to see who Jesus was, who his Savior was. We're saved not because of the good things that we do, but because we believe in Jesus and we give our lives to him and we repent and we are baptized. We can never deserve the great gift of salvation that God has given to us through Christ. Have a good day, kids, and I hope to see you soon.